When I was like 7 or 8, my father had just come back from an overseas assignment in Korea. He had brought back with him a few spindles containing PlayStation and PC games burned onto discs that were definitely obtained through entirely illegal means. There were hundreds of discs containing Final Fantasy, Crash Bandicoot, and Doom, among other classics of the era. They were all on the same type of disc, verbatim I think, and there were only a couple games that were on the original discs. Among these were 2 games, a burned copy of Thrill Kill and an original mint copy of the discs for Harvester. Both of these games my dad told me not to play, but at the same time he didn't remove them from the collection. He trusted me to listen. I should have listened. Even though I didn't turn out to be a deranged serial killer like Tucker Carlson, the fearmonger, and alleged glory hole enthusiast said I would, I definitely shouldn't have been playing these games either at such a young age, because my nightmare demons still take the form of Dr. Faustus, and I still can't eat cherry pie thanks to Harvester. I only ever turned Thrill Kill on once as a kid, and I never again because everything about it felt fundamentally wrong. Probably because it was an unfinished game. But Harvester, that was something different. I never made it past day 1 as a kid, but after you get past the intro cinematic, nothing was really that bad. Besides the meat plant, that is, but I never went back there and then everything seemed fine. A little off, but fine. I spent hours in the world of Harvester, and after I played it for a while, I remember going up to my dad and asking him why I couldn't play it. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something to the effect of, "You will not see the end of this day." And then I do remember him breaking the disc. I wasn't really worried about it. We played some Ridge Racer together after that. I love my dad. Anyway, Harvester slowly faded from memory over the years, but even when I completely forgot it, that feeling the first day in the town of Harvest left me with would occasionally come up from time to time, especially when I would play other games in the years to come. I remember being really drawn to Suburbia and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and Novak and Fallout New Vegas, because they would have this strange straw of familiarity to me, but something was always just slightly off about them. As a kid, I would have never been able to tell you that Suburbia and Novak had Harvester energy, but after replaying it for this video, they absolutely do. And you know what? I like my games to be a little off. Pretty much all my favorite games are weird games that either missed the mark of what they were trying to do, or what they were trying to do was so fucked from the jump that the end result was a barely functional but endlessly replayable masterpiece. Super Mario Sunshine is Super Mario 64 but janky. The Binding of Isaac is Zelda with a crying naked baby. Fallout New Vegas is like
Skyrim with guns. Yeah.
And Postal 2 is Harvester energy manifested in 3D. These are some of the games that define my taste in media in general, and I believe that the genesis of this, at least for me, is Harvester. Thanks to Slow Beef and Diabetes from the Retropray channel, I have rediscovered this game, and I now think it's time for you to discover it too. Friends, colleagues, and the shadow government that assesses my ability to think critically while carrying out a series of heinous tasks, welcome to Harvester. But what is Harvester? Harvester is a point-and-click adventure game by Future Vision, who renamed themselves DigiFX Interactive before this game released in 1996. It was written and directed by Gilbert P. Austin,
a macabre storyteller who brings to life a bizarre story of violent terror.
Probably after one too many Bloody Marys and a couple jazz cigarettes, I'd wager. He wanted to make something high concept that would compete with the game industry giants at the time, and by that I guess he means LucasArts, but truly they were in a league of their own if you ask me. Because as good as some of LucasArts point-and-click games are...
Another confused census taker? Actually, it was the commissioner with another idiotic and baffling assignment. Does it involve wanton destruction? We can only hope.
Nothing they had done was even close to the same wavelength as Harvester. Harvester was first announced at CES 1994, and I don't know what the reception was, as I was anywhere from 0 to 6 years old at the time, but trust me when I tell you the crowd was shocked. Harvester, along with being a point-and-click adventure game, was also an FMV game, and for those who don't know, full motion video was kind of a misnomer because videos that would play during gameplay would be 240p at best and still grainy as hell. Filming for the game's cutscenes would be completed in 1994, but programming for Harvester wouldn't be finished for another 2 years, putting it in the same release window as Duke Nukem 3D, Quake, and Diablo. And I'm not blaming these games, but needless to say, when you're offering me or this.
Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
In 1996, and my mom only gave me $30 and 20 minutes in Circuit City, my choice was obvious. And that kind of sucks because Harvester's really good, an intriguing, shocking, and honestly kind of nauseating tale of internalizing violence. The atmosphere bleeds a suburban energy that feels foreign yet familiar out of a time gone by. Like a place you might have passed on a father-son road trip with your dad, but definitely weren't stopping in because someone there looked at you like this.
Howdy, Steve.
So you were Steve, our protagonist for this adventure, and played by Kurt Kistler. And you may know Kurt from... Nothing. You wouldn't know him. And also the child porn charges. Yeah, we're not going to get into that too much. Lodge Level 4 has a great video talking about this, and honestly, for any really deep Harvester background information, I'd definitely check him out. We're going to try to pretend that this is 2009 and Kurt is not yet downloading images from 4chan, because honestly, usually have a hard time separating the art from the artist here, and the more I think about it, the less I actually want to cover and play this game, which isn't fair to the rest of the talented people who worked on this. So as much as I can help it, we're moving on. We start off at Steve's house and we're introduced to our mother, played by Mary Allen, who you may remember as one of the women who wanted to get spanked in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yes, you must give us all a good spanking.
Leave me alone, Steve, or I'll tell Mom on you.
Steve's brother, played by Ben Morgan, and the reverse paperboy.
Hey, Steve, I'm Jimmy James. Remember me?
Jimmy, the asshole, who coincidentally grew up to be a Marine.
Hey, Steve.
So there's still a chance he's still a pretty big asshole. We don't get to meet Steve's father yet, but oh boy, we will. There's a couple things we need to do before leaving our house. A couple of these will be recurring, but specifically for today, we need to grab the quarter and pen out of the drawer. And then every day we'll have to talk to Mom and give Jimmy a paper. But let's talk with our brother first.
What? Leave me alone, Steve, or I'll tell Mom on you.
Have you noticed that your show is in black and white?
What else? Color? On a TV?
Well, I think I've seen a color television before.
Have not. Quit it, I'm gonna tell.
So yeah, our brother's an asshole and Steve doesn't even remember him, but that happens sometimes, nothing weird here. Except Steve seems to think that TV can be in color, and that's not even possible because this is clearly the 50s.
And besides, bloody guts are needed.
We don't have to talk to our brother anymore after this, which is good because I don't want Steve around children too much. I mean, come on. But hey, check out the sounds on the TV.
Eerie.
Really eerie.
Anyway, let's talk to Mom.
Well, hello there. How about some cookies? There's plenty of rejects in the trash.
Who are you?
That's a fine way to talk to your mother.
You're my mother?
That's right. What a thing to say to your mother. Was that an invitation now that your father is out of action? Maybe later, dear. Right now I have housework to do. Though you can watch if you want.
Listen, this may sound strange, but I've lost my memory. Do you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
I'm serious!
Sure, and next you'll be telling me you don't remember Hank and your little sister. Oh, you're not having second thoughts about marrying Stephanie. Is that what this silliness is all about? Pre-wedding jitters?
Can something like that produce amnesia?
Stop this foolishness right now and count your blessings. Stephanie is great at cooking and cleaning. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
This whole house is fucked. Let's go give the paper to Jimmy. Wait, what? Yeah, so in Harvest, the paperboy doesn't give the paper to you. You give the paper to him.
Oh, man.
And if you don't, well, this happens. So I guess we should get this out of the way now. Harvest is about as hostile as most towns in the Bible Belt, and just like the South, anyone is liable to shoot you at any time, so we gotta be on our P's and Q's. So while talking to Mom, we discover that we have a fiance we forgot about, so we should probably go talk to her and see if she's hot. So we go to the Potsdam residence and speak to our soon-to-be father-in-law, Mr. Potsdam, and our
Hello,
mom
Steve.
again.
Have you flossed today? Honestly, you men can insult a woman without even knowing you've done it. What a horrible thing to say.
You're both standing around baking cookies. Same cut of dress. Same pearls. So bizarre.
Yes, this is Mrs. Potsdam, played by Mary Allen, who you may remember as one of the women who wanted to get spanked in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It's just not right. It's really eerie here. Something's fucky.
Mr. Potsdam is real excited about you marrying his daughter.
There he is, my future son-in-law. And how's he doing today? What brings him to the Potsdam household? Huh?
Probably a bit too excited if I'm being honest, but hey, apparently you're a good guy and he likes you for her.
Oh, you'll have to ask the missus about that. Stephanie's grounded to the wedding. Can't have her changing her mind at the last minute. Not with all that meat at stake.
Actually, no, he just wants you for your meat.
Meat is the foundation of any decent society. Everyone needs at least 3 servings of red meat a day. And anyone who says otherwise is a commie. And once you're married to Stephanie, I'll be part of the family too. And your father will give me all the meat I want. Kind of makes up for not getting into the lodge.
Actually, you're the heir to the Harvest meat processing plant, apparently, which is gross. But that works out good for Mr. Potsdam since our boy here loves meat. Mrs. Potsdam is basically an automaton and is doing the exact same thing as your mother. Well, this has been uncomfortable. Let's go upstairs and talk to our fiance. But first, let's steal all this Adderall and lube out of these people's medicine cabinet real quick.
Sometimes you just gotta improvise. I only hope that one day I'd be able to steal something a little more precious than an antique watch.
Now let's go talk to our fiance.
Who are you? What are you doing in my room?
Haven't you heard? We're getting married.
So, you're the one. Steve, isn't it?
You mean you don't know me?
I mean, I don't know anyone. I don't remember anything. How many times do I have to say it?
Just one, Stephanie, because I can't remember a damn thing either.
Really? Oh God, I thought it was just me.
You're not alone. Can you tell me what's going on here?
Those people downstairs have locked me in my room. They say I'm grounded until the wedding. Either way, something really weird is going on here. I've got to escape, and so do you. Because in a way, whether you know it or not, I think we're both grounded.
Escape?
Harvest is a prison, Steve. Don't forget that. Everything in Harvest seems to revolve around this damned lodge, this Order of the Harvest Moon. They're responsible for this insane bake sale that's coming, and for the Harvest blood drive, too. When people talk about the lodge, it's always in this hushed, reverent tone. Mom keeps telling me that women can't join, but she keeps pressuring me to get you to join.
You think the lodge is some kind of trap?
I think all of Harvest is a trap.
If that's true, maybe joining the lodge is the way out.
That's probably the worst thing you could do.
So this is Stephanie, and she also doesn't know what's going on around here. She tells you to avoid this place called the Lodge that everyone has been talking about. But this is the 50s, and I don't want no woman telling me what to do, so let's go get an application.
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Before that, I guess we should poke around town a bit.
Please excuse the mess. They've done wonders with the upstairs bedroom, but this garage defies color coordination.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the House of Flame, as we like to call it. Oh, cut it out, Spots, honestly. Once he gets barking, a good piece of meat is the only way to shut him up. There you go, Spot.
Maybe stop by that newspaper building and see why that freak Jimmy is stealing our newspaper. So we go to the burned down newspaper building and notice something in the ashes. Grab that nearby shovel and see a button for a mail person and part of a flyer for that bake sale Mom was talking about in there. Weird. Anyway, let's go stop by the place that apparently we run and see what's up. The Harvest meat plant is the most abhorrent part of Harvest we're going to see for a while. There's a writhing mass of moving meat outside. It's fucking cat meat. And this is where all the meat in Harvest comes from. I'm not Donald Trump, man. I won't eat literally everything. Steve might, since, he and Donnie already have a lot in common. What with the kids and all.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly? Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
I don't want any meat, but Mom might, so can I take some meat home?
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
A meat permission slip? Do I not own this place? Whatever, let's go get some food. I'm sure Steve's hungry after all this. So we head to Edna's Diner, or DNA's Diner as it were, the E's out on the sign. All the parking spaces are set against the fire lane. Why? We go inside and nope. We ain't hanging out here. I steal a screwdriver from this place for shits and giggles and leave. At this point I don't know what to do, I'm just so anxious. Let's go to the general store, maybe I can get something there. We go to the general store and look around. There's a free copy machine here. In the 50s. Sure.
Can I help you, dear?
I can't afford anything here except porn, so I guess I'll buy that.
A girly magazine? Why, Steve, I'm surprised at you. I'd expect that sort of thing from Deputy Loomis, but never from you. He's always coming in here oogling the girly magazines behind my counter. Darned if I'd sell him one, though. I know his wife, for heaven's sakes.
Well, will you sell me one?
I certainly will, Steve. That kind of interest is healthy for a young fellow. Steers him away from being a fireman.
At this point, I just want to thank the great people over at the Steam community, because there's a walkthrough there, and that is the only way I could figure out what to do next. So what you got to do is go to the police station, walk in and out so the sheriff won't be there when you talk to the deputy, so that you can give the deputy the porn.
Oh, can I have it?
Hello, Steve. Where's Loomis?
You'll be coming around the mountain if you come. Oh, that's it.
Loomis, damn you!
Wait, no.
You pervert!
No!
Straining up the mattress again! Folding up the towels! Charming snake!
Steal a notebook, checkbook, and key from the unlocked drawers in front of. Then you need to steal the jerry can from the evidence room.
What does this mean?
And blackmail the postal worker who burned the newspaper building so that you can give the Jesus Christ. So you can give you the applications of the lodge, because at this point I forgot I wanted to get into. Now this isn't as cryptic as I made it out to be, I guess. When you blackmail the postmaster and get the application, use the pen from this morning, fill it out, and take it to the mysterious lodge.
That's a ticket.
When we reach the front door, you're presented with Wang?
God help me, I am trying to find a copy of either Super Hornio Brothers or Super Hornio Brothers 2.
I see you've managed to acquire an application. That demonstrates resourcefulness, a desirable trait for prospective members.
This is the Sergeant-at-Arms, and my handler doesn't tell me who plays him. We'll talk more about him later, but for now we hand him our application, and the first day's over.
You need a rest. Report back here for your next assignment.
Alright guys, time to get pumped. We got a super exciting task to start this day with, and that task is... get the paper and give it to Jimmy.
Hey Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it?
You know, I told you we're gonna have to do that every single day, so... you know, we'll just get used to that. I might even cut it from this point forward. We'll see. But we give him the paper, and then we also want to give him the sneakers. And in exchange for the sneakers, he gives us a key. And that key opens a closet in the elementary school. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. But anyway, we'll go to the elementary school, and we'll catch the principal making out with the teacher, which is, you know, pretty hot.
Huh? What? Screwing in the school broom closet? What will people think?
Are you blackmailing us, you little shit?
Calm down, Mr. Harrell. Stephen would never do that. He's a smiley bear. But we should give him a token of our appreciation for his silence. Here, Stephen, take this baseball bat. You'll find it quite useful.
That boy. Take the bat, and we'll take the photo.
However will I keep the children in line now?
I have a spare I can bring in tomorrow. Unless you prefer a chainsaw this time.
None of this has to happen for the game to go forward, by the way, but I mean, like, why not get a free item I'll never use? Anyway, we'll go to the lodge and talk to the Sergeant at Arms, the guy we met yesterday. He'll tell you, hey, we need you to do some stuff for us today.
I take it you wish to be initiated into the mysteries of the Order of the Harvest Moon. Very well. Know then that securing the application was but the first step on your road to enlightenment. Now you must complete a series of tasks to prove your worthiness as an initiate.
What kind of tasks?
Minor pranks, really. Nothing overly difficult. More tests of wit than prowess. But to complete them you must, if you wish to enter these walls.
Minor prank, eh? I'll bet. What have you got in mind?
There is in Harvest a man named Mr. Johnson. He owns a tucker. It is his pride and joy. I should like you to put a scratch in it.
A scratch? That's all?
As I said, a minor prank. Mind you are not to damage the vehicle. Merely put a single scratch in it. Once you have done so, return here, and I shall give you your next task.
So we'll go do that. Now, if we try to go ahead and key Johnson's car right in front of him, he'll attempt to kill us. Now, we can easily take him because he's a little bitch. But the problem is, if we kill anybody that's not on the list of authorized to kill characters, we get the electric chair.
That's no good.
Instead, what we want to do... Jesus Christ. Instead, what we want to do is go to the post office, outside of it, and use the Oralube on the manhole key in front. Oralube is something we picked up out of Stephanie's parents' house bathroom medicine cabinet yesterday, so we'll use the Oralube on the manhole key out front and take it. And then it'll become nighttime, and then we'll go back to the Johnson house and use a manhole key to open the manhole. To use the manhole key to open the manhole in front of his house and enter it, which will reveal a secret fucking tunnel to which you will just continue to walk through until you get to... Mr. Johnson has a secret Batman tunnel under his house, which is, you know, a thing that people just have. Anyway, we'll get into Mr. Johnson's garage. We'll steal a bunch of stuff from it, like the furniture dolly, a pitchfork, and a screwdriver. So that's 2 screwdrivers we have now. And then we'll scratch the car with the screwdriver.
Did it.
Now, bafflingly, and I don't think you have to do this to finish the day, but you have the option of going to the cemetery right now to meet an old friend.
What are you doing here at this hour, Mr. Potsdam?
I'm burying our cat. She passed away and I'm burying her. Go away and mind your own business.
Then, where's the cat?
I left her at home. Now leave me alone!
And he's real sketch about it. Oh, and fuck. Or you're gonna see this in the footage, but I don't do this. You do remember to do this, or else you're gonna have to walk all the way back through here. Don't forget to pick up the fucking matches. They're a small object, you can easily miss them, but they are vital to beating this game. Do not forget the matches. Anyway, after we catch Mr. Potsdam doing that sketchy shit, we go ahead and head to the lodge and tell the Sergeant-at-Arms that we scratched the car for him like he wanted, because he's fucking 10, and this is what passes as a good time to him.
So, you have completed your first task. Now that you've scratched the tucker, you may proceed to your second task. You will steal a bolt of fabric from the firemen and bring it to me.
Alright, as we start day 3 of Harvester, we still feel kind of weird about what we saw Mr. Potsdam doing yesterday. I think I'm gonna go check out the graveyard. I don't know, seems like the right thing to do. Let's go talk to Mom, I guess, to get that out of the way.
Hello, dear. How are you today? By the way, I spoke with Mr. Johnson and he's livid. Seems someone scratched up his priceless tucker. If he finds out who, there'll be heck to pay. Edna's daughter Karen has disappeared. Karen was playing outside as Edna closed the diner, and that's the last anyone saw of her. But Steve, this isn't something you want to be concerned with. Trust me. You should be concentrating on joining the lodge, not some missing girl.
Isn't a lost child everyone's concern?
Then let everyone worry about it. This is nothing but a waste of time for you. If you spend your time in Harvest looking for Karen, you'll regret it.
My time in Harvest? You talk like I'm a visitor, Mom.
Don't be silly, dear.
Steve's always in the know about everything about kids, so it's weird that he doesn't know this. Yeah, we'll definitely have to take a look into that, even though Mom really doesn't want you to for some reason, but that's fine. Give the newsboy his tax and move on. When we get to the graveyard, we see the spot that Mr. Potsdam apparently buried his cat last night that he left at home, so let's just go ahead and use our shovel and dig that up. Oh my god, it's a child.
Thank God I found you. Are you alright, Karen?
I want to go home. Could you take me to my mommy's store? Or to the policeman?
Can you tell me who did this to you?
Mr. Potsdam told me he'd hurt my mommy if I told.
I won't do anything, I promise. Tell me what happened.
He made me play house. Then he dug a hole. Please, I just want to go home now.
So Mr. Potsdam sexually assaulted Karen, and there's something to be said about Kurt Kistler playing a character who saved a sexually assaulted child and then goes on to sexually assault a child. I'm not in the mood for this subset of jokes right now, so we're just gonna kind of move on. We get to DNA's diner. Edna will give you some reward money for bringing her daughter home. You have the option to turn it down, so that's weird, but whatever. Then we'll go to the lodge and get our new task for the day from the taskmaster there.
So, you have completed your first task. You will steal a bolt of fabric from the firemen and bring it to me.
So today we're gonna go to the fire station and steal a bolt of cloth, which sounds pretty simple. So what we need to do is go to the elementary school, pull the fire alarm, and then get the firemen to leave the fire station so we can go steal from them. But before we do that, let's check out the classroom, our old teacher.
Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time. Mr. Johnson says one of my pupils scratched his priceless tucker. I must say, I was relieved when I learned he had no evidence pointing to one of my kids. If he had, some lucky boy or girl would have been in for some quality time.
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline. corporal punishment as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love.
This is uncomfortable.
Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the lodge.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Gein Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's greatest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their heads?
Discipline. Thank goodness you weren't a sulky bear. You were always a smiley bear. We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin, but a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely. Oh dear, Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
Okay, this is, it's a little dark.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
My stars, that was exciting.
I don't approve of anything that's happening here. We've pulled the fire alarm, so it's clearly a false alarm, so the firemen will be there the rest of the day.
Okay.
So let's go see if we can get that meat slip signed by Dad real quick. So what we gotta do is go inside, use the dolly, move a bookcase, turn off the alarm, then go back outside, use our screwdriver to unscrew the bolts on the cage outside Dad's window for whatever reason, and then, oh my god.
No, leave that there. If any of it turns up missing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see any of this.
Marv, what's going on in there?
Go! Go!
So we finally get to meet our dad.
Joshua Graham. Caesar would never admit this openly, but he knows that I'm alive.
I need some meat, and Pat won't give me any without your signed permission.
Good old dependable Pat. Here, son. Here's my signature. Take it to him, and you won't have any problem.
Can't talk now, Steve. I've got to hose out some entrails.
So we go back to the meat plant and give the slip to the butcher and get some, meat.
Your father okayed the meat, huh? Here's your meat, son. You run along now. A new shipment of animals has come in, and it's time to start cutting.
Ugh. And now it's nighttime again. Time is so weird. It just be changing randomly. So we go to the fire station and give the dog that's barking at us a piece of meat so he'll calm down. And then we talk to the man under the blanket.
Jeez, what are you doing here?
Just standing here, waiting to be drawn.
You just hang out here? All the time?
I'm not a person, Steve. I'm an object. You'd do well to remember that. A person is his job. Someday you'll understand that. And if you don't, it won't matter, because you'll be dead.
Dead?
Have you gotten your lodge application in yet? Good. You may survive yet. I guess you're here to steal the bolt.
He doesn't really care. He already knows what's going on. But we have the answer already. We'll use a ladder and climb up to the lamp and steal it from on top of the lamp. It's a great place to hide cloth. And that basically ends the day.
All right.
Hello, dear. How are you today? You know those firemen? The funny ones with the color sense? Looks like they misplaced a bolt of expensive fabric. Of course, each one of them suspects the other. Looks like a catfight is brewing.
Don't forget to get the papers out of Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Day 4. This is actually a relatively short day compared to the other ones. All we gotta do for this day is go use our reward money we got for saving that little girl and buy a wrench and some tape. After that, we can visit our girlfriend if we'd like.
Want to hear what's happening out in the real world?
No. I'd rather forget about Harvest for a while.
Come here. I want you. Make love to me. Now.
Mr. Potsdam's looking through a peephole and it's really uncomfortable. This whole game is just a big sex crime. After that, we go talk to the Sergeant at Arms.
Exquisite claw. Its loss should trigger quite a bit of dissension amongst our gallant firefighters. Still, that is not your concern. Your next assignment is to break into the tonsorial establishment of Mr. Pastorelli and abscond with his prized barber's pole.
Our goal for today is to break into the barbershop and get the barber's pole. Sounds easy. You can fuck it up so many ways. Here, I'll show you.
Freeze! You are under arrest. You have Miranda rights, but I'm not gonna read them to you, because you're a bitch. Hey Stingray, I'm gonna need your help down there. Looks like we got a 316 in progress.
This is your first arrest, Steve. You just remember, we've got a 3 strikes, you're out rule here in Harvest. But you keep your nose clean. You hear?
After you get through all that bullshit, go back to the barbershop that we just broke into and got caught at, and go steal their barber's pole for real this time. And then literally that ends the day. Super short.
Samurai Champloo.
It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
So today we're going to start doing exactly what we always do. We're going to go talk to our mom about the barbershop, and then we're going to go give Jimmy the paper.
Hello, dear. How are you today? Did you hear what happened at the barbershop? Someone broke into Pastorelli's salon and took his antique barber's pole. The next morning, Pastorelli touched some live wires that the thief left lying around and was electrocuted. Well, that darn foreigner got what he deserved, if you ask me, coming into a nice little town like Harvest and stealing business. Heavens, if a bowl and scissors were good enough for your father, I don't see why decent working folk need a fancy wop styling their hair. That's how it goes. First you get a sissy trim, then bang, you're a communist.
They took our job! They took our job!
Isn't it exciting, Steve? 5 days and 1,200 cookies later, the bake sale is already here.
And today's the legendary bake sale that we've been hyped up since the beginning of the game, so we got that to look forward to.
Those 1,200 cookies. How many are you taking to the sale?
Oh, about 20. The rest were stale. But the effort wasn't wasted. It's for a good cause.
This is so fucking stupid.
So now we're heading over to the lodge.
And Venetian glass, and Italian dreams. You have done well. An unfortunate side effect that Pastorelli was electrocuted because you left live wires in a puddle on the floor. But as those with affectations of worldliness say la vie. Your final assignment is to set a fire in DNA's diner and let the French fry where they may.
We're gonna go to the mortuary and enter the chapel. There's a casket in there and some kind of corpse. We're gonna use that camera we stole from the police station a few days ago. Take a picture of that corpse.
Got him!
Just keep that, because that's something that Steve likes to do. We'll take that picture and go to Mr. Moynihan, played by the director of this game.
What's up, everybody? It's Critical.
I am Daniel Moynihan. Which I think is pretty neat. We'll blackmail him, as he's clearly the person who killed that person.
Ah, you've taken up photography, I see. Now why on earth would you choose such a grotesque subject?
That John Doe you've got boxed up in the chapel? He didn't just drop dead. Someone helped him take the plunge.
You may be right. I'm a mortician, not a medical examiner.
You don't have to be to know that being ripped to shreds can be detrimental to your health.
This is not something you want to be looking into, young man. Got the goods, have you? You're in harvest, my young friend. Have you tried the road out of town yet? Do so and you may question exactly who has who.
Look, are you gonna tell me what I want to know, or do I go to the sheriff with these pictures?
That would be a grave mistake, I assure you. I've told you all I can. My losses have been substantial of late, so I can't offer you money. The only thing I can give you in exchange for the photographs is my tube of astro glue. I do suggest you take it, or it's all you'll get from me.
Now, we know Steve likes glue. I mean, who doesn't like glue? I know I like the sweet, tangy smell of some glue. But we're actually going to use that glue for something else, so don't even worry about it. After that, we're going to head over to that bake sale and talk to the PTA moms, played by Mary Elizabeth Allen.
What a good boy you are. Have a cookie. Mercy, what a terrible thing to say. Isn't it, ladies?
Yes. Terrible.
Who you may know as the... God damn it. Every single PTA mom, your fiance's mom, is played by the same actress. And I think that's just fun knowing how this game ends. After he talks to all of them, someone runs in screaming about some big fire.
Ladies, someone has just burned down the TV station. On the night of our bake sale?
Goes check out what's going on. Hey, what's Postmaster Boyle doing here? That sneaky rascal. Wonder what he'll get into next. Anyway, since everyone's distracted here, let's go over to the diner and do some stuff there. We break in the same way we broke into the barber shop. So what we're going to do is use the glue and take a cake cover off the counter, put the glue on the rim, and then what we're going to do is take the cake lid and put it over the fire detector so the firemen don't come over, and then turn the stove on and, blow this motherfucker up. As you do. Now we need to get the fuck out of here before this place burns us alive.
Oh, won't you tell me, please just tell me, explain how this should work. Well, now what could it be?
Okay, here's the deal. I need to put up a second content warning for this day in particular. Like, all of the days have been pretty bad, and I put up a content warning at the beginning of this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and run a content warning on everything this day contains, like, right now, just in case, you know. Also, there's some stuff that we haven't looked at in town. I want to show you guys everything I can before we, finish the game. Harvester, unfortunately, is a fairly difficult game to just kind of parse through if you've never played adventure games before. Even if you have, it's still kind of cryptic in some places. So a lot of people will probably opt to go through the game using a walkthrough, which is fine and an absolutely valid way to play it. The issue is, if you do it that way, you're absolutely never going to meet a couple of really interesting characters who do have their own side quests, which I'm not going to spoil for you. I do think if you decide to play this game, you should take some time on day 1 or 2 maybe, and just go ahead and, give them a holler. Maybe do their quest. But I will introduce them to you real quick. The first character is Colonel Buster Monroe.
Oh, who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right. This is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes 2 of us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging ploy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes Swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye our flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are. Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
And what's interesting about him is if you try to walk onto his base, he'll fucking start a nuclear Armageddon. Which is pretty interesting. Also, what the fuck is my man shooting over here? Is that an AR-15 with a pencil barrel and an AK-47 magazine? I mean, it could be an AR-15 7.62x39 magazine, but I mean, that curve is like real distinctive. So it looks like what the prop designers did was go ahead and stick a AK-47 mag inside of this AR-15. It doesn't even look like it's in, it looks like they stuck it to the side. Must have got their weapon designers from Obsidian.
Bruh, look at this dude.
The second character we're gonna meet is the
To a crumb, the ignorant of harvest called me the wasp woman.
A pejorative, no doubt. And she's pretty interesting as she wants to have sex with wasps.
The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation.
Which is pretty gross. I'm pretty sure those are the only 2 that we don't ever actually run into during regular gameplay. And they're probably the most memorable characters in Harvester, besides maybe
My mom!
This is the last time you're ever gonna have to give the paper to Jimmy, which is a positive. A negative is the rest of this fucking day. So what we're gonna do is go talk to Mom as per usual.
Hello, dear. How are you today? The nerve of some people burning down the TV station to detract from our bake sale.
I doubt the perpetrator did it just to annoy the Harvest PTA.
Coincidence? I don't think so. Just 6 months ago, the newspaper building went up in smoke. Obviously, there's a firebug on the loose. Either that or a communist. Steve, I'm so scared. Now that the bake sale's over, I just don't know how I'll fill my time. Oh, I feel so useless. My goodness. What's wrong with her? My goodness. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks. You just pop them back in. See? As good as new. That tarantula she ate must have had wasp eggs in it.
Don't you think we should get her to a doctor?
What for? She's got her mother. How silly I was, feeling useless just because there are no more cookies to bake. I can still rear my brood. This is a sign, Steve. I have a purpose again.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
And then, go check out what happened with DNA's diner after we, burned it down last night.
I've tried so hard to find an excuse to keep on fighting, but Karen and I can't go on alone any longer. This diner he left us was all we had. It was always a struggle to keep it running in such a small town. And now we've lost it. I know that I can't afford to support us now. There's only one way out. I'm sure you won't be able to understand the depth of despair that would enable a mother to put a rope around her baby's neck and push her into the air and jump after her. I wonder if I'll hear her next now. If she kicks around and takes a long time to strangle me, I'll scream, but I won't cut her down. I've got to be stronger than I ever was before. But I hope she doesn't kick. God help us and forgive us, Edna Fitzpatrick.
And what's always good after looking at a nice suicide is a nice afternoon of sex with your hostage girlfriend.
Do it to me. Now. I heard that DNA's diner burned down.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Did you torch it, Steve? This had the stamp of another large initiation.
Maybe so, but I had nothing to do with it.
Thank God for that. She hung herself, you know. And Karen. Can you imagine? Killing your own daughter? The despair she must have been feeling to do something like that? She must have felt there was no way to carry on after the fire.
Accidents happen.
It was no accident. The sheriff supposedly found evidence that the fire was set. Are you sure you didn't...
Would I lie to you?
No. I'm sure you wouldn't. Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Okay, well, that didn't help. Let's go talk to Mom real quick. Maybe Mom can help us feel better.
Oh dear, I just heard what happened to Stephanie.
What do you mean? What happened to her?
You haven't heard? Well, young man, you march right over there this instant. She's your fiancée, after all.
Oh my god, okay, let's go see what's up with Stephanie.
NANI?!
Guess I can forget about the meat, huh?
What do you mean?
Your dad must have pulled some strings. Be sure and check Stephanie's pillow, you lucky bum.
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see once the sheriff gets here. Stephanie. Things will never be the same now. Guess I'll be watching TV nights.
Okay, you can come in now, son.
My God. Is that what I think it is?
Yep, it's a spinal cord.
Is it Stephanie?
I can see a resemblance, but I can't be sure.
More pie, Sheriff?
Pie? Don't you realize what's happened?
Oh, indeed I do. I can just hear the tongues wagging at the PTA. Was it suicide?
Never heard of anyone pulling their own spinal cord out before. Off the record, I'd have to say no. No, all in all, I'd say this was death by natural causes.
Natural causes?
You can't live without a spinal cord, son. Nothing unnatural about that. Think I will have some more pie.
Right away.
I can't believe this. This is horrible.
Believe me, you get to the point to where this is routine. Now the only clue we got is that card on our pillow. Take a look at it.
This is practically a confession.
Confession to what, son?
Murder. Isn't that what you're here to investigate?
Son, you don't investigate natural deaths. No point.
Then I'll get to the bottom of this myself.
Yeah. I'm sure you will.
More pie, Sheriff?
Don't mind if I do.
These Order of the Harvest moonfucks have gone too far, honestly. We're gonna confront them now. We're getting into this lodge one way or the other today, right now.
I don't understand.
The invitation was not the card, but the spinal cord. It must be presented to me ere I allow you to enter.
Are you fucking kidding me? We have to go get something else to get into the lodge? We have to go get the bones of our ex-girlfriend? Okay, so this is the first taste of combat in Harvester, and I've yet to mention it, I think, at all until now, but there is combat in Harvester. You might have seen clips of me here or there shooting at some random person, but, like, this is combat. This is what we're going to be doing for basically the rest of the game. Harvester goes from an adventure game to a the world's worst 2D fighter, and it's great. Alright, now we do a little grave robbing and go back to talk to the Sergeant at Arms.
You have done well. Now let the initiation commence. As your mystagogue, it is requested and required that I turn over this sacred dagger to you to aid you in your quest.
What is this?
You must now enter the lodge. Initiates find it a hostile place.
Are you supposed to help me or get me killed?
I'm starting you on the path of initiation to a very special, very exclusive brotherhood. I am merely the administrator of a test, whether you view me as an enemy or a friend.
this thing. You haven't said what it is.
It is a special weapon. Using it will be part of the initiation. You always have a choice, Initiate. Which choices you make matter only to you. Whatever occurs in here is relevant to the great question which you cannot help but answer. What is at issue is whether in answering the question you will find the answers you seek. You will encounter those intent on preventing or prompting your answer, depending on how you look at it. While the assumption is you want to live, dying is easy and provides its own answer, but not for you.
Just tell me, is Stephanie dead or being held within?
The membership director on the second level keeps track of such things.
Oh, great. Then you are against me.
I am the Sergeant at Arms. I am here to ensure that the protocols are observed. Deviation from a protocol shall result in punishment. Remember what I have told you. Now, let the initiation begin.
Oh, okay, hold on, 1 sec.
Ah, you're here. Excellent. You'll find them through that door.
Excuse me?
You are the exterminator, are you not?
No.
In that case, I'm afraid you'll have a hard time of it, sir. Recently, the lodge has become infested by pests. They need exterminating, or, to be blunt, sir, they need killing. I wish you good luck, sir. I only hope you can stomach what's ahead.
So this is the lodge. I know what you were thinking. You were expecting something like you were expecting something like this, huh?
Who leaves Atlantis off the maps?
Who keeps the Martians under wraps? We do.
Well, nope. We get meat canyons, and just as a heads up, I'm gonna tell you this now, so we don't have to talk about this later. There's gonna be a lot of meat holes inside the lodge here, at least this first section. And just like John Romero, I can't talk about those holes, so we're just gonna have to move past those. I'm sorry. Our only goal in this first section of the lodge is to kill all the enemies that we see and walk to the end and stab out in an eye. I'm gonna show you as many of the kills as I can, but I am going to be fast forwarding through a lot of the non-interesting ones because, let's be frank, that's all you do at the end of the game. We're gonna go into this middle room here, kill that monster inside, and then we're gonna go into a bar and get drunk. And when we do that, we get to fight our After we face our inner demons, we gotta take the key from off him, use it in the cash register in the back to grab the money so we can take it back to the room to get the man to clean our clothes. While you're in your meat prison, at some point you get acid on your clothes, and it'll always happen. They say there's a chance that it won't happen, but it'll always happen. So what you gotta do is you gotta go talk to the man in the side room here and pay him some money to clean your clothes. If you don't do it, you will die at some point, which is weird, but whatever.
This is a cloakroom, sir. By definition, not a fitting place to seek answers. However, it's plain that the acid from your ordeal is eating away at your clothing and skin. I can clean your clothes for a minor consideration of $5.
After he cleans our clothes, we can kill him to seize a shotgun, which we're absolutely going to need to beat the game, so go ahead and do that. Take the clothes off one peg and put it on another peg to open a secret door. Inside we'll get some more weapons, and then after that we'll go back to the main room. Then we're going to go talk to the chef, who you may recognize.
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, killing my clientele. Ever since the monsters invaded this level, the members have taken to dining with the Grand Poobah upstairs. Actually, I have to admit my last few meals haven't been up to snuff. The problem is the freshness of the corpses, or lack thereof. See, the supply has dried up. The Sergeant-at-Arms always used to insist that bodies killed in the lodge be disposed of without trace. And so the members would bring me their business for preparation and dissemination.
And we'll kill him. There's not a real reason to kill him. And do not forget to pick up the torso and leg that's in here. Those are vital ingredients to Harvester.
Well, that didn't work. Oh, man.
After that, we're going to go back to the cloakroom and then hit that switch to open a door. There's going to be a monster inside.
So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre? Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve.
There's also a gumball machine here you can use to get all your health back in case you've taken damage up to this point. I mean, if you've taken even a little bit of damage, you should go ahead and just do that. After that, we're going to go across the bridge and we're going to throw one of the body parts in so that this doesn't happen.
Answer me that, Mr.
Then we're going to walk past the bridge to grab the weed killer. We're going to need that weed killer, so don't forget it.
Oh, man.
Go back across the bridge, but don't forget to throw a body part in there, because that same thing will happen again. And then we're going to take that weed killer and go into the room with the fountain to kill the plant man. That was a lot, and I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go into the fountain and get this really hard to find key from the fountain, and then use it in another hard to find place, and that'll open the door, take us up to the next level of the lodge.
Welcome to the Harvest Moon Art Gallery, sir. I'm the curator of this place. So delighted you could come. That it will, I'm afraid. Art often forces engagement, doesn't it? Lovely works, pastoral scenes, noble sculptures. These are easy on the eye and mind. But when confronted with a work of hideous form, you're forced to deal with it, even if only to dismiss it as trash. Sadly, the most extreme works are the hardest to dismiss. grotesqueries amid works of beauty are necessary. That should be taken for granted. Nevertheless, it's important that each individual determine his own sense of aesthetics. For that reason, I give you permission to obliterate that which forces you to linger too long in the gallery.
I'm just passing through.
If only it were that simple.
Welcome to Lodge Level 2, where the game gets the most cryptic and the most fucking ridiculous. So, what are we doing on this level? What we're doing is checking out an art gallery.
Allow me to destroy your gallery. Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love. I want it. It's everything.
After we fight off the last of those statues, one of them will drop a key. Use the key to open a door. Then we're going to open the door that's inside that door and talk to the chess master. Now we can handle this one of two ways. We can play a chess-based puzzle, or we can kill him. And obviously, as I've explained before, I'm here to rip and tear. We're going to go ahead and kill him. But in case you were curious on how to solve this chess thing, here's the answer. And the result is the same either way. After we rip the key from his cranium, we're going to go ahead and go down the hall and shoot the janitor. Just, come on. It's a janitor, of course you're going to shoot him. Who doesn't shoot their janitors on sight?
You think just because I'm a janitor I got no pride? That's all I got to do all day is clean up after you rich bastards?
All right.
Then we're going to continue to go right and kill a clown.
All right.
Now listen, your boy here ain't afraid of clowns or nothing. I know clowns ain't real. And from the clown, we'll get a Cupid doll and a Cupid key.
That is one big pile of shit.
We're going to keep following that path down and unlock the next door with the Cupid key. And grab 2 flags.
Okay.
Then collect every wooden plank here. This is a really easy way to soft lock yourself. Do not forget to pick up all the wood planks. We keep going right, and we're going to go ahead and kill a burned zombie and pick up the lighter next to him. I don't know what the lighter's for. Unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think the lighter's actually used for anything, but you can get it. Then we go outside and go up to the masks and operate them as such. Then we'll go into this boiler room that opens here. And if we don't solve the boiler room puzzle in time, we'll die. Really, it's just turn it off, swapping one pipe for another, and turn it back on. Easy peasy. I don't see how you could die here. You must be Cro-Magnon. Now this is where you can die. Because after you leave the boiler room, if you forgot those planks, well guess what? The game is soft locked at this point, because you can't go back and you can't walk across lava. You're not Jesus. After that, Go into the next room and quickly place down both flagpoles because the ceiling's dropping on you, and then go into the next door to climb the ropes to level 3. Easy floor. What was anything that I just fucking said? This game is ridiculous. Alright, you know I'm always straight up with you guys, so I'm gonna be straight up with you and tell you the game is effectively over at this point. This is Lodge level 3 and it is all combat. Like the last 2 floors of the Lodge were basically combat, but this is 100% combat. I don't have a lot to say about anything on this floor till the end. However, I will give you the overview of the floor. So each section of this floor of challenges is you fighting off a different thing that the Lodge wants you to fight that's supposed to ingrain a certain message or point or whatever that the Lodge is trying to get across. An idea. I'm an idea. It's an interesting concept. It doesn't work for me. It ends up just being a really sloggy combat section in a game that really doesn't need combat, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes. Anyway, I'll show you the most interesting of these fights. I mean, I'll show you all of them, but I'm only going to slow down for the most interesting of the fights. Not all of them. There's quite a few.
This is the Temple of the Mystery of Abstinence. Do not eat of the food or you will be punished. All within are hereby bound to a vow of abstinence. The central mystery is thus: those who advocate abstinence are those who possess the most. It is to their advantage that you obey, not to yours. The meek shall inherit the earth when the strong are finished with it. Advance, initiate, and remember what you have learned.
And some mothers complain that their children don't come to see them.
Mommy, you're so good. You're so good.
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
Welcome to the Temple of the Mystery of Flesh, Steve. Have a bite?
Mr. Potsdam?
The mystery is this. Sometimes you have to lose some meat to get some meat. They wouldn't let me in until I demonstrated my worthiness. My invitation came after I buried Karen alive. That showed initiative.
And her spinal cord was your ticket in, right?
Yes, but to be initiated into the mysteries of the harvest, I had to do one last thing. I let them into the house and into Stephanie's bedroom. Now I'm a butcher. You should have gotten your dad to hire me on. That way, you could have been the boss instead of the prime cut.
Hello, handsome. Looking for a good time at a reasonable price?
So most of these temples, challenges, or whatever, there's a way to avoid fighting. And in this next particular one, you can have sex with a prostitute instead of fighting them if you want. However, well, I'll just let it play out.
All right, honey. One of the ladies will be right with you. Thanks for stopping by, stud. You shouldn't have picked Crystal, though. She hasn't been feeling well. I'd be sure to get to a doctor if I were you. These diseases can have pretty horrible effects, you know.
insult my beauty?
This temple's not even testing you on anything. This is just one of the developers putting in their fetish into the game real quick, which is pretty cool. You can even see him here on the table. And this temple's my favorite one so far because it's very specifically just about beating up old people.
Fuck you, old people.
So we're about to watch the final cutscene, and I just want to let you know now it's a long one and I'm not molesting it, so enjoy.
Principal Harold? Within the inner sanctum.
This is always a great moment when the initiate passes over the threshold and becomes a brother.
Stephanie?
I believe you have something for her. Ring the bell and win a prize for the lovely lady. Or is it win the lovely lady as your prize?
Enough games.
Agreed. Each time you climbed the rope, you caused her pain, but you always hurt the ones you love. Is that all you require?
I want an explanation.
Of course you do. There are no such things as monsters. And yet, you've killed monsters. Everything in Harvest is just slightly askew. This is because, as advanced as our technology is, we cannot make the sim any better than this. The subject's subconscious always warps it in unpredictable ways.
Sam?
This is nothing more than a virtual reality designed by the Harvesters to test potential members. Having successfully completed the program, you have earned the right to become a Harvester.
What the hell is a harvester?
The hand that grips the knife that stabs, the ones who move amid the crop and harvest the fruit.
You're talking about people. Killing people.
Again and again and again, I believe the technical term is serial killer. The Harvesters seek to perpetuate terror and discord for our own purposes. We do this through the random utility of murder, and we persevere through our recruitment of initiates like yourself.
You want me to become a serial killer?
This entire reality has been engineered to break down your resistance, to desensitize you to violence. Now you may become a harvester and re-enter the real stay in peace with young Stephanie and spend the rest of your life in the construct known as Harvest.
What is the real world at this point?
Right now, you are suspended in a sensory deprivation tank wired to a VR tech. If you don't join us, we will terminate your life support, and you will be dead within minutes. Those last minutes, however, will seem like a lifetime lived in Harvest. You will marry Stephanie and die peacefully of old age.
You're presuming a lot.
Aside from you, she is the only real person in Harvest, suspended in a tank, jacked in just as you are. I assume you'll want to spend time together.
If I stay.
Of course, having completed your ordeal, you may leave with her as you intended and enjoy your victory. If, on the other hand, you wish to join us, the cost of exiting the lodge is the same as the cost of entering the lodge. A skull and spinal cord. Hers.
No. You couldn't kill me. These harvesters, they put people through this torture to give them a taste for killing. The way to beat them is to deny them, to live out your life here with me. You're thinking about killing me, aren't you? Didn't you hear what he said? I do exist. If you kill me here, I'll die for real. And I'll feel all the pain, all the terror, because I'm real.
Well, after all, what's a murder without pain and terror? We will feed the pain impulses directly into her brain and then pull the plug. You will be a murderer, this time for real. So what will it be? Life in Harvest, or life as a harvester? Choose now.
Whoa, that's some heavy stuff. And after all the shit that we've been through to get Stephanie, it would feel disgusting to me to do anything other than spend my last remaining moments with her. This seems like the right choice, and it seems like, the way that the developers intended you to finish this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick that one.
You disappoint me. You had possibilities.
I'd rather die than become as twisted as you.
You've made your choice and succeeded in your quest. Enjoy the life you've chosen, such as it is.
What a waste. This kid could have been something. Never looked back. We got 2 more to plug in. There's gotta be a better way to develop these serial killers. This is scientific. You want we should go back to the old way? What old way? Good breeding.
No, I'm just fucking with you. We're gonna become a harvester, obviously. I mean, Jesus Christ. You think I go through all that? You think I got desensitized to this much violence? Do we take the pussy way out? Not me. We're fucking doing this.
Please help me. Steve, don't do this, please. No.
Fatality.
Wow, that was neat.
Welcome to our order, brother.
Where are you going?
Nowhere. Nowhere at all.
What are you doing, son?
Playing harvester.
That thing? I looked at it the other day. The very thought. Breeding serial killers. It's disgusting.
We're also gonna have a lot of self-aware meta-humor. Oh, getting meta and self-aware is tight, don't you agree? Honestly, not really my cup of tea. Can we keep this rolling, though?
It's cool.
You'll rot your mind playing games like that. Don't you know people who watch violence become violent themselves?
That's bullshit, Mom.
No, it isn't. Why do you think they started cutting the violence out of those Roadrunner cartoons?
Roadrunner cartoon. Roadrunner cartoon?
And that's the end of Harvester. Honestly and truly a masterpiece. One of the greatest games in decades. And honestly, I don't know that I've played a game that's been as influential on my taste as much as Harvester. Like I talked about at the beginning of this video, all the games I like are just fucking subtly off. And just like the Sergeant at Arms said at the end of the game, you know?
Everything in Harvest is just slightly askew.
And that's how I felt about it while I was playing the whole game, even before I knew the ending. Everything just felt off. And I think that's really cool. The fact that the same actress is playing your mom and the PTA moms, it's just so cool to me. But after all this, I only have one question, really. And that question is, this guy, the Sergeant at Arms, like how he talks and all that, you know?
Enjoy the life you've chosen, such as it is.
Like my question is,
How are you doing that with your voice?